Okay, the law of cosines helps us find missing information about non-right triangles if we have side angle side given to us or side 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 given to us. Now, side angle side looks a lot like side side angle, which was our ambiguous case. So we want to make sure that we check out the order. With side angle side, the angle is the included angle between the two sides. That's not the case with side side angle. So we try not to mix those up. The law of cosines comes in 3 varieties, and you're going to end up picking which one you need by noticing the angle at the end. If you know angle A, choose the top one. If you know angle B, choose the middle one. If you know angle C, choose the last one. Or if you're looking for that particular angle, choose that particular version. Okay, let's try it out. First up, side angle side. So, the order of steps here, you want to use the law of cosines to find the third angle. And then you want to switch to law of sines to find the smallest angle remaining. And then you can subtract from 180 to find your third angle. Okay, so to verify that this is, in fact, side angle side, not side side angle, I'd want to make a triangle and label my sides. A is across from little a, B is across from little b, and C is 108. Whoops, 108, not 180. And sure enough, I have side, then angle, then side. The angle's in the middle. So, law of cosines. I'm going to choose the version with angle C in it. So I'm going to choose C squared equals A squared plus B squared minus 2 times A times B times the cosine of C. With the number substituted in, that's C squared equals 22 squared plus 15 squared minus 2 times 22 times 15 times the cosine of 108. That was 22. All right, so I'm going to pause and type that in. And C squared is equal to 912.951. And I have to square root that. So this is a great time to use that. This is a great time to use that second answer option again. I have to square root that 912, so I'm going to do second square root, second answer, and quickly find out that C is 30.215. Okay, and so now that I know that side C is 30.215, I have the information that I need about triangle C. I'm sorry, not triangle C, about side C and angle C. So I can switch back to the law of sines that I'm more comfortable with. Oops, forgot to switch back to the pencil, speaking of switching. Okay, so 30.215 over the sine of 108 equals to, now I can find A or B. My safe bet with law of sines is to find the smallest angle. That way I don't accidentally run into the ambiguous case. So I'm going to use 15 and sine B. I know B is smaller because side B is smaller. Okay, I'm going to cross multiply and divide. 15 sine 108 equals 30.215 times the sine of B. And divide by 30.215. And pause while I type. Okay, 0.472 equals the sine of B. And when I know the sine but I don't know the angle, I do the inverse. So second sine, second answer. Angle B is 28 0.174 degrees. And now that I know two angles, I'm able to subtract from 180 to find the remaining angle, which in this case is A. So to find angle A, I have 180, take away 108, take away 28.174, and so angle A is equal to 43.826 degrees. Okay, so that's how law of cosines works for step 1 of a side angle side triangle. Notice after step 1 you were able to switch back to law of sines, which we were more familiar with. So let's see what we do for side, side, side. For side, 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 we have to use the law of cosines to find an angle. And we always want to find the largest angle, which in this problem will be 31. I'm going to go ahead and draw a triangle because that'll help me out later on maybe. I don't know any of my angles, but I know little a is 19, little b on the bottom is 26, and little c on the left is 31. Okay, so I'm going to use the law of cosines version that has a place to find angle C, because angle C will be the largest. So that's the one that is C squared. So 31 squared equals A squared plus B squared minus 2AB cosine C. So that would be equals to 19 squared plus 26 squared minus 2 times 19 times 26 times the cosine of C. Now the interesting thing about this cosine of C is that's our variable. That's like an x that we're going to get by itself. That also means that 19 squared and 26 squared is not a like term with this part of the problem because this has an x. So we have to be careful and do this in pieces. 31 squared. Some people like to type that in. I don't bother. What I do want to know is what's 19 squared plus 26 squared. $1,037. And I want to know what 2 times 19 times 26 is. 988. And again, these are not like terms because this is my x. And so instead of putting these two numbers together, I'm actually going to move my 1037 to the other side. So I'm going to subtract 1037 I should say. So 31 squared minus 1037 is negative 76. That leaves me equaling negative 988 times the cosine of C. It's important I don't lose that negative. Now I'm going to divide away that answer. And I'll get a very tiny decimal, which I want to get a very tiny decimal here, equal to the cosine of C. Okay, so when we know what the cosine is equal to, but we want to know the angle, we're going to use inverse again, this time inverse cosine. Another opportunity to use our answer function, so second cosine, second answer. And I know now that C is 85.588 degrees. Okay, so if I know C is 85.588 degrees, now I know the C fraction entirely, allowing me to use the law of sines for the next step. Okay, if a larger than 90-degree angle was going to show up, it was going to be right there. So I can't find either angle I want to. It's always a safe bet to find the smallest angle using the law of sines though, so I'm going to stick to my habit. And I'm going to use the c fraction to find the missing angle A. So I'm going to have to cross multiply and divide. And that still won't get me A, but it'll get me my decimal. So 0.611 equals to the sine of A. And I'll have to do my inverse. So second sine, second answer. (37.668 degrees). And that was angle A. And that leaves me the ability to find angle B by subtracting the two angles we just calculated from 180. So angle B was 56.744 degrees. And so that's how law of cosines can find us an angle, and we can continue to find all of our angles.